Hey Coach, it's Matt here from the VIP Nutrition Coach Show. Today's episode is a case study about how one of my clients, Justine, went from charging $50 per month to landing a new $3,000 client every single week. In this episode, Justine reveals the lead generation strategies that have been working really well for her, how she provides such an amazing experience for her clients that they stick around for 12 months minimum, and she even blows me away with her philosophies on client retention. If you're a nutrition or health coach who would love to increase your retention to 12 months plus on average while charging 5 to 10 times what you are now, you will not want to miss this show. As per usual, this episode is a snippet from one of the weekly live trainings we do in the Online Nutrition Coach Community Facebook group. If you'd love to hear the full episode, get access to weekly live trainings and resources to help you scale your online coaching business, you can head directly to the Online Nutrition Coach Community Facebook group or go to beyondmacros.com/community to get access plus a free bonus training to help you scale your nutrition coaching business without working a minute past 30 hours per week. All right, that's enough from me. Now for the episode. We've got Justine here with me today. Justine is going to be sharing her story about how she went from charging $150 for a 3-month program, not $150 per month, but $150 for 3 months. And now she's on a streak where she's been enrolling a client into her new high-ticket program every single week. So what we're going to be diving into today is Justine's story, how she got there. She was just like you when you started out. And now today, she's absolutely crushing it. And she has an offer that nobody else in here could possibly serve her clients the way that she does. So we'll be diving into things like how she has generated that many leads that are already pre-sold. We're also going to dive into how she moved from a commodity offer into a actual no competition offer. So that's the main things that we will be focusing on. You can get any insight that you want from her. She can divulge any information that she wants about the insides of any of the mentorship that she's gotten. This could be thousands of dollars worth of information that she drops on you. So get ready for it. She's crushing it right now. And some of you might be like, oh no, and comparing yourself. But the thing is, Justine is where you were, and it hasn't been an overnight process by any stroke of the imagination. So I think this is going to be really relatable to you. Justine, I'd love for you just to, from your perspective, let people know, where were you before you started the Build Workshop? What did your offer look like? How much were you charging? Where was your confidence level at? Like, can you paint the picture for us about where you were at so everybody can realize that they're just like you and they can absolutely be as successful as you are?
Well, first off, what offer? There was no offer. Yeah. I was the offer. That was all I had. And there was no confidence. I knew what I was doing, giving somebody numbers, but that was it. And it was so generic that it didn't seem, well, when I came to you, it was like, what am I missing? Like, I feel like I missed something. I took my nutrition coaching and I was working with one client. I was charging $50 a month. And I had hit a wall. I was like, this can't be it. And thankfully I didn't really make it that far into it before you came into my life. And so it wasn't like I was banging my head against the wall for very long, but I knew that I had to be missing something. It was like I had the theory aspect of it, but how do I make this practical? Like, how do I apply this to a business and make this something that I can do for the rest of my life? So yeah, there was no offer. There was no direction. There was nothing. I was just wandering around hoping that people would want to work with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And at that point you were like running a completely different business. You essentially created another job for yourself. And that's what was your primary source of income, really. You're no longer doing that, are you?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Yeah. So just to give people a taste of where you're at today, like what's changed for you since then?
so many things. I just learning the basics. So coming on with you guys and learning the basics on how to build this business online, right, was so valuable. And even when I first started with you, I still hadn't found my niche. I hadn't found that spot where I wanted to be. So I created an offer for at the time that worked for me. And I successfully upgraded the client that was at $50 a month. And I got her to go up to $150 a month with no questions asked. Like, she didn't even question it. And then just the confidence growing, like there's something so powerful about being around a group of people who have the same goals as you do when it comes to like growing your business, right? Like, we're all in the same boat. We all started in the same spot. We all have the same dreams. Like, obviously they're going to look very different in the end, but we're going down the same path before it branches off, I guess. And it's amazing to be around a group of people who are genuinely happy to watch you succeed. It's not, oh, well, she's doing this and, I'm not. It's like, it's not like that. It's like, great job. Like, that for me was in the beginning, the best part, to just be around a group of people who were genuinely happy to watch me succeed, help me succeed, cheer me on as I succeeded. Yeah. So, I mean, that was the start of it, I guess.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear you talk about that community aspect too, because I remember there was a space of time between when you finished the Build Workshop and when you started the Grow Intensive where you just had some stuff going on. You couldn't focus too much on your business. So we weren't working together for a short period of time. And I remember when you came back and you were like, hey, I'm ready to hop into the Grow Intensive. You're like, I can't wait to be a part of this community again.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
You weren't even like, I can't wait to work with you again, Matt. You're like, oh, I can't wait to be a part of this community again.
I lost all my friends.
Yeah. So, yeah, very cool. So I'm interested to hear, like, at what point did you switch from having like the commodity offer, just the like, hey, I'm a nutrition coach. You pay me $50 per month. I can set your macros and, help you out, to what you're doing now? Like, what had to shift for you in order to create a no competition offer versus a commodity offer?
Well, I found my, like, I think it was in the break, I had kind of found my niche. Like, I found who it was that I wanted to work with. I dialed in on how to do that, to work with that specific person. And then when I came back, it was about, how do I get these people? Like, because again, it's like, then I have the theoretical knowledge of how to work with these people, but how do I practically apply it? How do I get these people? Where are they? How do I find them? How do I get them to want to work with me? So then when I came back with you, I'm pretty sure the first thing we did was start working on creating my group. And like, it was just kind of a flood after that. So I created the group, and it was based off of what it was that I was going to offer. And it was amazing the amount of people who wanted what I had to offer, right? Bringing people in, and then the conversations that I was able to start, because then you're not hounding people on Facebook. You're just, these people came into the group because they wanted what I had to offer. Like, they opted to come in here. So they knew what they were getting into. And then it was just these flood of conversations and the ability to grow and, well, really do what I want to do. Help people in the way that I want to help them.
Definitely. And, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, but I have a Facebook group and I'm not getting any clients out of it. The difference between like the group that Justine has created and potentially the group that you have that's not really creating any opportunity for you is the fact that, one, like, Justine is now so crystal clear about who she works with, how she can help them. And that has informed really the strategic content that we're able to create for her automated trust machine. And so now, because Justine's group is geared directly towards exactly who she can serve, and the strategic content within there solves the exact problems that they're dealing with, it's this rapid trust building process that happens. And so now, Justine, it's like, how many, like, let's say triage calls or sales calls have you been having per week now that you've actually got the group going and implemented the other facets of the automated trust machine around it?
It's like 3 or 4 a week.
Yeah.
And then, which goes into like, I think I've only had 4 people maybe out of all of them that I've not even, it wasn't that they didn't want to get on the sales call, I just didn't offer it to them.
Yeah.
Which is a fun feeling in itself. That was a huge one that you don't think of in the beginning. You're like, turn people away. Why would I do that? Like, well, that's what makes this amazing, right? Is that was one thing that without you guys, I probably never would have done. I wouldn't have found that niche and stuck to it, so that I'm not working with people who aren't bringing me fulfillment in what I'm doing. I'll refer them to somebody else who can work with them, right? It's like, maybe you're not a great fit for me, but you can go work with someone else. It's like, then I get to just do what I want to do and help the people I want to help.
Yeah. And that's such an important part about building your dream business. I know, like, when we had Lucinda on the case study, she said that she had one person who early on in her gut, she knew it wasn't the right fit, but she offered them the program. They said yes. And it was the only bad experience she's had. And I know Paul, same thing. We haven't had a case study with him here, but I talked to him last week. Same thing. He's like, he knew in his gut that there was this one person who wasn't right early on, but he signed them up because it was like, oh, do I really turn somebody away who wants what I have to offer? But like, I mean, for you, how fulfilling is it to be able to be selective with who it is that you serve and still be able to earn an income that's definitely beyond what you came to me initially hoping to earn?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Like 10 times.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. Like, you don't think that that's a feeling that would actually bring you joy to turn somebody away, but it's like, to be at the point where you can turn people away, because you don't need to work with them. You're not desperate to work with them. You get to choose who you're going to work with, because then it's going to make you better at your job. Because if you're just working with people for money, then eventually you're just going to hate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to bring you any joy whatsoever, which is where I was at with my other job. Like, I was doing it because it was paying the bills, and I had kind of lost the joy in it. And it's like, then it's not as fun anymore. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I'm going to be talking pretty soon in the group about the different stages of entrepreneurial freedom, but that's a huge one, is the fact that it's like, if you create a business for yourself, or really, coaching, some of you are just self-employed. You created a job for yourself, or some, you've created a business for yourself. When you get to that point, when you get out of being an employee, maybe, quitting your job or quitting the business that you didn't like, then that's like a new stage of entrepreneurial freedom. But when you actually have the systems in place to be able to generate enough of those pre-sold leads that you can actually start turning away the ones who would either drain your energy or you would give your energy away to them, that unlocks a whole new level of freedom, because then your business becomes a source of joy rather than a source of stress. Yeah. And I think it's so funny seeing the client wins that you post, how they call you like the stalker. Because I mean, it's like a real testament to the fact that, like, when you create a VIP coaching business, one where like all those people probably feel like your only client, because you're just like so on top of them. And by being selective about who you work with, it's like when you bring those dream clients in, you can serve them to that degree. It's like they're sticking around. Like, with, obviously your prices have gone up 10 times. Since you've done that, has your retention rate dropped?
God, no. I've not lost one client. I don't have any clients that, except, no, because I've had the one, just like Lucinda, I signed somebody on when I shouldn't have. And that was before I had my like offer, before I started doing what I'm doing. And it didn't feel right, but I did it anyways. And it didn't work out, obviously. And it's for the better. But even the person that I was working with at $50 a month is still with me.
Yeah.
Like every single person that I've signed on, and I don't see any of them going anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is a great feeling, like to know that you're offering something that like you've created something that people want and want to stay with.
Yeah. And that should be a huge light bulb for anybody listening, because Justine told us earlier that first client was paying $50 per month. Justine now charges $500 per month, and that person is still with her. So that is why we are constantly hounding you about the VIP experience and our VIP method, because the thing is, that is what is going to allow you to, when a client sees that money coming out of their account every month, that's what gets them to think, I should tell other people about this. It's worth every penny, instead of, ooh, yeah, maybe I should cut that expense. That's an expense, instead of like, oh, I love this. Like, I would never think about cutting this line item from my budget. That's why it's so important. And then especially when you stack in, I mean, we're constantly talking about social compounding, how to generate those leads from social media and the automated trust machine, how to actually bring in those pre-sold leads more on autopilot. And those are important because, one, if you bring in all those leads, you can start to say no to the ones who aren't a good fit. And it also frees up time. Like Justine was nice enough tonight to come on here instead of putting her kids to bed, but it's like
sacrifices.
Yeah, sacrifices. But it's like when your business is humming along like this and you've got the systems in place, you've got more time for family, all those things.
I work like 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's 4 hours a day. Yeah. And I make double what I made at my other job.
Yeah.
I'm making double what I made at my other job, working less. And it's amazing.
Yeah. Love it. If you could go back to yourself, knowing everything you know now, your version of yourself before you started the Build Workshop, what would you tell yourself? You've got like 60 seconds to just like fire hose yourself with information. What would you tell yourself?
Stop trying to do it on your own.
Like,
if you do, like, why are you trying to dig up this? Like, just ask for help, right? Like, ask for help. like I said, I was lucky enough that I didn't get so far into it that I was like ready to give up. I had really just started, but yeah, when I think about how far I've come, like I could be even farther now if I had started sooner. I told myself this, but that was what the biggest struggle was for me, was how can you expect your clients to invest in you when you're not willing to invest in you?
Yeah.
Like, what makes you think that you can just take a nutrition course and now you're qualified to help people and grow a business and do all of that? It's like one certification doesn't do that. So like, that was my biggest thing. It was like, I'm going to invest in myself because I plan on asking my clients to invest a lot in me. So
yeah. Yeah, that's a sage point. And it's funny because in one of the courses that I'm doing right now, I was recently asked to write a letter to myself 5 years ago. And 5 years ago was the start of Beyond Macros. And at that point, I was still doing everything on my own. And my letter to myself was pretty much like, dude, everything's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing right now, but start asking for help a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And let's fast track this thing.
Yeah.
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 Because I just think back to how many years that I floundered because I didn't ask for help. And now I invest more into coaching every year now than I used to make every year. And that's what has allowed for this like 10x growth, personally, income, all that.
Yeah.
So I love it.
So do I. I love it. Like, now that I've started growing, it's like, it's just as amazing. Like, I love taking courses. I love getting coaching. It's amazing to grow. And the best part is that you're always in a group with people. So like, you all get to grow together, and it's just like this amazing community. Like, I have a best friend that lives in Australia. Like, I never would have had him if I hadn't joined Build. So
yeah,
like, it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the powerful things. I love it because, a lot of the masterminds I'm in, I've got friends who it's like I'd never have met them otherwise. And it's cool because when you're investing in the coaching and the areas that you're passionate about, you're in a group of other people who are passionate about the same darn thing and doing the same darn thing. And so, you can really form some amazing relationships that way. Is there any sage advice you would give people in the online nutrition coach community? Because you've been a member of this community for a long time. You've seen the questions people ask. You've seen what people are struggling with almost to the degree that I do. So based off what you've seen from people and people who have decided to upgrade into the Build workshop, do you have anything that you'd like to just drop on them? Knowledge bombs, things that they could find really useful. All right, coaches, that's it for today's episode. If you'd like to hear the rest of this training, get access to tons more like it, plus free resources to help you scale your online coaching business, you can head directly to the Online Nutrition Coach Community Facebook group, or go to beyondmacros.com/community to get access. Plus, I'll send you a free bonus training to help you scale your nutrition coaching business without working a minute past 30 hours per week. I hope to see you in the community so I can put a face to the name. I'll see you there, and until next time, much love, legends.